There's no room, like at training and
There isn't. They have to form a queue.
Stop it.
They have to queue. Can you imagine? There's traffic going into the training complex.
If you don't win against Chelsea with how bad we've been, and we're admitting that we are terrible,
awful,
then that you are bottle jobs.
We are
finished. The mentality in you is completely gone.
Welcome back to Super Fan Debate here on AFTV. It's Arsenal versus Chelsea on Tuesday, and of course we'll be covering it, and we are discussing it here before with this amazing panel. Welcome, everyone. We've got Robbie, we have Dan Potts, we have Sophie, and we have Matisse. And listen, it's a London derby. There's a lot of history. It's now a bit of a Mudryk derby, isn't it? After the scandal of January, all the Instagram posts, all the, as some people put it, twerking for Arsenal and all that.
Twerking.
Only to rock up at Chelsea.
It was
a couple of days later.
The It's Nothing Personal derby with Aubameyang on BT Sport.
Oh yeah.
So now it's Mudryk's turn.
This game's been competitive for all the wrong reasons this season, hasn't it? So the big question is, did Mudryk make a mistake by joining Chelsea? That's what we're asking today.
I don't think he made a mistake. I think what probably attracted him to Chelsea, other than the money, was the fact that he knows that we have won Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues. Okay, fine, we haven't won the Premier League for a while. Can you just stop and let me talk? God, you're so rude.
Say nothing.
You're insinuating things. You're making innuendos. Yeah. No, but I don't think he made the wrong decision. However, if it was his current state of mind that we're talking about at the minute, I think he himself would sort of be on the fence, because he'll be looking at how Arsenal are playing as a team and be thinking, I don't have those players around me, or something's not being run properly. But but he's new to the Premier League, so I don't think he's made the wrong decision long term. But at the minute, I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks he has.
Matisse?
Yeah, I agree with you long term, but I think in the short term, it can only be looked at as a very tough start for him, and not really just because of him. You know, yes, he needs coaching, he needs improving. I don't think he's the finished article, but what he's been dealing with in terms of the amount of players, you know, the changing of management, staff, you know, we've got probably players playing Nintendo DS, I've said, outside the change room, because there's just no space inside. There's no room in there. Do you know what I mean? And then not only that, the owner's going in there as well. So there really is no space now. So for me, it's like,
this is all true, by the way.
He's not
like, this is, you think he's joking, but apparently there's no room, like at training and
There isn't. They have to form a queue.
Stop it.
They have to queue. Can you imagine? There's traffic going into the training complex. It's like congestion zone. It's mad.
Stop it. You're giving them ammunition to be nasty to us.
They've been watching us.
Like I
don't need to give them ammunition.
Long term, no. Short term, he's in a bit of a situation.
He's not starting games. His confidence has been knocked down massively. I don't know why he's not playing, considering the fact that we're just playing dead
Poor
rubbers.
coaching and lack of confidence.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, why did he not play against Brentford when we have nothing really to play for apart from preparing for Pochettino, who's meant to be the next manager? I'm pretty sure Pochettino is going to be looking forward to using him. There's been reports that he feels like he'll be able to maybe turn him into the next Son in terms of improving his finishing and making him an inside forward. I think the long term could still be good for him, but in terms of the short term, it's been horrendous.
So I think for me, when these links come about with Arsenal, Chelsea links with Mudryk, he was twerking for us on social media. I looked like he was coming to Arsenal, right? I saw glimpses of him at Shakhtar Donetsk. I saw games of him in the Champions League, and I quite liked what I saw, to be fair.
I
glimpses
did
of
too.
it, right?
Brilliant.
So there's clearly talent there. He's got a high ceiling at being 21 years old. Hell of a lot of money to spend, right? Ridiculously crazy for someone who's played, 35 games for Shakhtar Donetsk at the time? So it was crazy. When he comes to Chelsea, I thought this is going to be interesting for me to see what the raw talent is like there. Because when you've got talent, you can show it on a pitch, right? Doesn't matter where it is. But the way he's come into Chelsea with everything else that's going on, it's looking like a bad sign. And I'm trying to work out whether it's Mudryk or Zach from Saved by the Bell. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's bizarre to me to see how poor you can look when things aren't going so right
You
for
two
Chelsea.
are rude.
So
I'm not coming on
that's the
here
way I
again.
see it.
To me, and I wanted Mudryk, right? And again, like I saw the games that he played in the Champions League against Real Madrid for Shakhtar. He looked exciting. He looked dynamic. You know what I mean? But to me, always raw. I always looked at him and thought, it's going to be a guy, work in progress type player, but he looks an exciting player. But when I look at him at the moment, I'm like, we dodged the bullet. Well, at that price, not to say he's not a top player, but at that price, I think we dodged a bullet. He's not worth nowhere near that. I think that's been proven now, that when you see him playing for Chelsea, even though we see little... you can't write him off yet.
No, you can't. There is something
potential.
Yeah, I'm not going to stand there and say, and say, I'm writing him off because it's too early. He's a young player.
He's not a top player, though.
He doesn't even speak English yet, really, that great. He's coming into a new environment and that. But to me, for the price, we dodged the bullet. He ain't worth nowhere near that. And also, I just get the feeling with him that he's unhappy, that he wishes he came to Arsenal. And this is not just me sort of...
Well, he did
I'm
want
not
to go
bantering
to
now,
He did
right?
want to go to Arsenal.
It looks to me that he was forced by his representatives, and this is just an assumption before they start suing me or whatever, right? But I just get the feeling like someone's been forced into a move. It's like, yeah, you may want to go to Arsenal, but
they didn't pay.
I think Chelsea have offered.
They didn't. You guys have to pay.
It's a long-term contract. You're going Chelsea. And he just looks like an unhappy player. And I reckon if he'd have come to Arsenal, even though it would have been, still he wouldn't be ready yet, and still he's going to be work in progress, I think he would have done better at Arsenal. But thank you. Because
it's not...
you lot gazumping it.
Trust me.
Hold on a second.
Hold on. Todd Bowley's greediness meant that we got Trossard, who has been excellent.
That's what you needed.
That's the key.
Trossard has been brilliant for us.
It's not.
Right?
It's not like as if you guys paid the same fee as us and we offered more wages to Mudryk and more signing on fee for his agent, and then he decided to come to us and he was forced. You guys didn't pay. You have to pay to play. You know how the game goes.
No, but we were going to pay the money.
You wasn't though.
We were going to pay. We weren't going to go quite as high as you, but
then you weren't going to pay. You have to pay.
We weren't going to go as high as Chelsea.
We were going to pay nearly 80 million.
You must.
For an unproven player.
Yes.
Right?
Anthony, look, Sancho.
And you
none of those two have been worth it.
Exactly.
None of those
This is
two
the
have been
going
worth
rate.
it. And then you lot gazumped us, right? Because you thought Todd Bowley and all your fans at the time were all jumping up and down.
Not me.
We've got one over Arsenal.
Not me.
Yeah.
No,
I
I
mean,
didn't do that.
My feet were on the ground.
writing out the songs. Yeah,
I wasn't jumping.
But one
I was
thing I
having a
will
nap
say,
on my
and
sofa.
look, right now, you get what you deserve in life sometimes, man. It serves you lot right because you were too greedy. Right?
We weren't.
I think that
Are we not finishing the season on the same amount of trophies as them?
At the minute,
Well, you don't know yet. But Todd, I'd rather we're in the Champions League. You're not.
Hey, listen,
Right?
we need a break.
Right.
We're tired. We've been travelling too
Todd
much.
Bowley,
If City win the treble, we're in
It's
the
just like
community.
Bowley. Don't you get the impression that Bowley, he only went after Mudryk because he knew we were going after
100%,
him?
man.
But he's done that with all the signings.
Not all of them, but
that's not an Arsenal.
Can I say with
vendetta.
can I say with Mudryk, the only thing that is in our favour is the fact that we know that Pulisic's gonna be leaving. We know that Hudson-Odoi is not in the plans. At least Mudryk has that left wing spot currently, at the moment as it stands, to himself in terms of long term. Martinelli's on that left hand side for Arsenal.
Yeah,
and
I was going to say, who would you be dropping
exactly,
for Mudryk to come
But he
in?
would have come in to compete with Martin.
He would have been part of the squad. He
And
wouldn't
he would
have
have been part of the
started for us.
squad and he would have been able to work his way up.
But would he
develop.
have ever
At the
dislodged
moment-
Martinelli?
Huh?
Would he
I don't
ever
think
ever
so.
Who
dislodge
knows?
Martinelli?
Who knows? You don't know.
But I don't think we didn't go.
Could be unhappy in the
I
future.
wasn't jumping up and down saying, "Yeah, we've got one over Arsenal." I
A
actually
lot of
looked at his
Chelsea
clips.
fans were.
I
A lot of Chelsea
wasn't.
fans were.
But I was looking at his clips and I was thinking, God, he could be a very good player. And when he first came on against Liverpool at Anfield, he was
Yeah.
only on for 10 minutes or so. But what he did, he sort of
looked
changed the
great,
game, almost
yeah.
scored. And I haven't seen that from him since then, which leads me to believe
because we've contaminated him.
it's a lack of confidence, a poor coaching. Doesn't know what to do in the system. We're not scoring goals.
I don't think his heart's in it because
There is
he
no
didn't-
system.
He didn't
Well, it's
really
not
want-
at the minute, but it could be.
It
Do
may
you think
be.
there's a mentality thing there as well with him?
It's
No,
just- it's a
he
mentality
works
thing for
incredibly
all of
hard. He's
them.
always at the gym.
Yeah, but it's a mentality thing for all of them. If you're not winning on the pitch, doesn't matter how hard you train, your confidence is going to be shook. So
Listen, I do think he'll get better, and I do
Yeah,
think
I do.
think next season you'll see the better of him, and I do think he's a good player. I'm not.
But I don't think you should
I'm
be
not hating
saying
on him.
thank you.
No, thank you because we've got Trossard and he's been amazing.
Yeah, but I don't
what
think
I'm
you should be
saying
saying
is,
thank you. Thank goodness we didn't get him.
what I'm saying,
top on Tuesday.
you agree, but I do think with Mudryk, it was just a greedy play. It was like, Arsenal are looking to get him. We're going to gazump. Again, Todd Bowley just trying to get all your fans on side. Yeah, we're going to get, because even your fans, I don't think they were killing themselves to get Mudryk. You wanted a striker.
I didn't even know who Mudryk was, really, to be honest. Like I
don't know half the
I
players
heard
we've
about him
signed.
through you guys, and then suddenly now we're coming into
Most
something.
Chelsea fans wanted Jesus. That I spoke
I
to.
wanted
I
Jesus
know
in
you
the
did.
summer.
I'd be very happy if we went and just signed like an Ivan Toney. I'm not even joking.
I agree with that. I think that'd a good
I'd be
signing.
very happy if we signed him. He's a proven Premier League goal scorer. He's currently on form.
Yeah.
How old is he? Good
But
age?
he has that
26, 27.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Why
You know,
would
it's
you
not
want
like
to
a
take a
30-year-old.
step back?
What do you mean a step back? Right.
Just lost to them, so.
Sideways step, you mean,
You're
Robbie?
getting proper, you're getting proper
They just beat
rude.
you. They're higher than you in the table.
I don't care.
They're the kings of West London right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want him here. I just want.
Can I
we
just
haven't
say
had a
that-
prolific
just
striker
quickly,
since Didier Drogba and Diego Costa. I just want. I want three. I want
Next time-
three big, huge
Next time we come here,
strikers.
we're bringing that Champions League trophy from the DR studio.
Let's do
it. Here, make sure.
Listen, do you know?
Because these
do you know
lot are
what?
rude.
The reason
Humbled.
You are rude.
Humbled.
The reason I agree with Sophie on the Ivan Toney stuff is very similar to when we signed
Correct,
Trossard, right? Because Trossard, Premier League proven, he was already killing it at Brighton, didn't have to really settle into a new league, nothing like that. Whereas Mudryk has had to do that, and he's cost what, £50 million more than what Trossard has actually cost, which is insane. Trossard, to be fair, in the last few weeks has actually been treated, probably some would say fairly unkindly by Mikel Arteta. Player of the month in March, It's hardly kicked a ball in April. We haven't won a game in April, so we have actually won against Leeds, obviously. And Trossard has been more of a bit part player. I think he's been fantastic. Where I actually thought there was a little bit more understanding of why Arsenal fans were concerned that we didn't sign Mudryk wasn't because of how fantastic he was potentially going to be, was because it was apparently our plan A. And that was where people were getting frustrated. So our plan A was obviously Caicedo and Mudryk, and we ended up with Trossard and Jorginho. Now, it actually hasn't turned out to be a shambles, to be fair. I'd much rather have Caicedo, but who knows, we might go there in the summer. So I understand why there was concerns from Arsenal fans. But if you talk about how it's worked out now, I think, Mudryk need a whole next season as well.
You made some great points, but on the Mudryk thing, the big question about whether he's made a mistake going to Chelsea isn't just about where the position of the clubs are. It's about his development. It's about realising his potential. He might get good at Chelsea. He might. I mean, yeah, maybe Pochettino will get something out of him in the way he did Son, but Arteta's kind of almost weirdly renowned. Even before he was rated as a coach, he was known as the guy who worked with Sane and Sterling. Look what Saka and Martinelli have become. He was the perfect coach for him in a lot of ways. Arteta, very similar to De Zerbi, that he has worked with. Mudryk has worked with De Zerbi before. Like, it's not just about the clubs and the future and all that. It's for his development and his potential.
But
This is
I
why
don't think
Pochettino-
we
this is why
know.
Pochettino
That's
is
what I mean.
key.
I don't think we know what his potential and his development is going to be until we have a
Manager.
world-class manager that gets the best out of these players and is strict enough with them, disciplined, because we haven't had that. All he's seen so far
I think Poch has
is
a-
Potter, who he probably
Poch's
never heard of,
got a
and then
track
Frank's
record.
come in when it's already a shambles. So I don't really.
Pochettino's got a track record for developing young players. You see what he's done with Harry Kane, with Dele Alli, what he's done for the whole Southampton team there that was basically just taken apart by Liverpool.
What would be a good season for Mudryk next season for you? Like, in terms of his goals, assists, attributes?
I think if he's walking out at Stamford Bridge when the music's playing, I think that'd be a great season. I mean, he's on the bench. We're playing 3-6-1s. Do you know what I mean? We're playing 3-6-1s.
I think
But under
most.
Poch,
I think
I
most
mean-
importantly for him, it would be a goal every 2-3 games and assists.
So
Assists
we get
will be
double
massive.
figures for goals and assists.
I think that's the benchmark
Collectively.
for any attacker.
So do I.
Any attacker
So do
in
I.
a top team, you should be aiming for double digits goals and assists. And I think if Poch is planning on using him as an inside forward who's going to be making those runs in behind and running in.
He just needs that person in front of
He's going to
him.
be playing alongside Nkuku. People forgetting that we signed Nkuku. He's coming in the summer.
That's another one.
Yeah. It's another one.
Can't keep up.
Another one. You know what I mean? It's not too. You know what I mean? It's
Another one to join the queue.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you think, like, even again with Mudryk, right, the system that you play with, like the three at the back, wing backs?
We won't be doing that next season.
Right.
Poch always plays a 4.
Okay, well, but at the moment, again, it don't suit him.
No,
does it?
right
That's
now we
why
don't play any attackers.
Again, that's what I didn't understand.
Right now, it does. Short term, you take this argument 100%. You guys play fluid front on the front foot football. You guys actually cater to your attackers, and you have combinations, and you have a plan. We play 3-6-1, and Sterling and Gallagher pressing from the front and growling at people. That's what we do. So there's a big difference. There's a big difference.
When everyone's fit, does he start? Mudryk? When everyone's fit, I want to Poch. This is when everyone's fit.
Yeah.
I know you're not
He
going to know
should start.
what
He
you're
has.
going to buy in the
Yeah,
summer.
I think he
yeah.
should.
There's nobody on that left
Listen,
wing.
I've
When
come to-
the sales happen,
I've
then,
come
yeah.
to know football, Premier League, or the
Anything can
team
happen.
is the same as if you're playing chess. You need to know when to move the right players, and keep it all
Locked
calm, collected, but never let the opponent really know what you're thinking. So we don't know what sub he's going to bring on. Mudryk could be a super sub, or he could be a perfect first team player
£88
from
million super sub
and
Man
a
City
starting player.
on an 8-year contract.
Man City do it.
Is it
They're
8
doing,
years?
they're doing just fine.
It's an 8-year contract. What
He
if
was
it
62 million initial, Robbie.
It's chess.
What if it doesn't work?
It will work.
8-year contract. You're talking on the other video about how many players you've got to get rid of.
Well, we have to talk about the contract thing I don't agree with. So
another part of the
contract thing I don't agree
You're right,
with.
That could be a whole other part of the mistake.
That's another reason why he
the
went
club, the development. It's what if it doesn't go right for 2 years? You've got another 6-year contract.
I don't agree with the contract. Another thing, we can get into that in a whole different video if you want to.
That'll
With
be
Todd
there
Bowley
in
and his
his video.
contract.
I mean, if you're talking about did Mudryk make a mistake, money financially wise, he's set for life.
What is that?
So we won.
But he would have been set for life at Arsenal as well.
You would have only given him a 4 year. We've doubled that.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. But what about...
We're looking after.
There's two things. Yeah, set for life financially, but his career. What about his career? I do think... Listen, I do think he's a good player. I do think he will improve for Chelsea. I do think he'll be a good player for Chelsea, especially if you get Pochettino and you play a different system once he gets his confidence. But I definitely think he made a mistake going for Chelsea because I think if he'd have come to Arsenal, he'd already be playing, wouldn't be starting, he wouldn't be ahead of Martinelli. He'd be starting, he'd be getting game time, he'd be an exciting player as well.
Well, let's just see if
what we're doing.
Let's just see if you're a one-season wonder.
And I just think that he was forced into to Chelsea, and it's an 8-year contract. And if it don't work,
it will.
If it don't work, remember, like last season,
Russian roulette without Roman.
he was on the verge of going to Brentford for like 25 million.
Yeah.
88.
We're playing Russian roulette without Roman. That's what we're doing. And I've already rolled the dice, and I'm here in Vegas, and I'm enjoying myself.
Look at this Russian roulette, dice, chess. What's happening at Chelsea?
Games.
We're playing games.
We are playing a game. Arsenal versus Chelsea, and it's got nothing on it.
All right, so ahead of the Mudryk derby, in which I have no doubt he'll turn up.
Imagine if
because
Aubameyang
it's
scores
just
the winner after
difficult.
all this conversation.
What, from a Mudryk assist? I mean...
Guys, I'm sorry. Are you talking about Tuesday?
Aubameyang
If
to
you
score the
guys,
back foot.
if you guys think, if you can't beat us and you genuinely believe in your mind there's even a 10% chance that Chelsea could win this,
Preach!
You are delusional. I need to start calling you Ty on occasion.
Yep.
Because I love Ty, but that's just mental to me. Where are we going to get the goals from? We're not scoring
you
goals. We're
guys
conceding
do not
goals. If you
beat
can't
us,
beat us, there's an
you are
issue.
bottle jobs.
Bottle jobs, yeah.
We're already that
Bottle jobs,
No,
Robbie.
you
if you
beat
do
actual
not beat
bottle
us,
jobs.
This is
You
how
beat
far
abs-
you lot have sunk.
You beat
Reverse
actual
psychology.
You have to
bottle
use
jobs if you
reverse
don't win
psychology
this.
it's not reverse psychology, it's
Right?
facts.
You've sunk that bad. You know
No,
what
it's
I
a
mean?
fact.
No,
if
it's
if
facts.
you don't win against Chelsea with how bad we've been and we're admitting
Yeah.
that we are terrible,
Awful.
then that you are bottle jobs
We
and
are
you have
finished.
the mentality
never
in you is
known anything
completely
like it.
gone.
Huh?
We can't
known
score.
anything
We
like
can't
it on
score, and we
Super
always
Fan
concede
Debate.
goals.
The first team
the
to
lot you
come
want
out
we can't
and
score.
demand the opposition
we
beat
can't
them.
score. We can't keep the ball. We can't defend. We can't
can't-
pass.
You can't.
And you've got a cloud over charge as a manager. He is an
Lampard versus
absolute clown.
Arteta. Last time, Lampard was here, this was actually an interesting conversation between Lampard and Arteta.
He won at the Emirates.
Now, look at it now.
It's
Look
not,
at Lampard now.
guys. If you don't win against Chelsea on Tuesday, I'm sorry, but you deserve
They're
a
an
lot of stick.
embarrassment, honestly. If they don't.
That proves you've got a mentality problem in the team.
I actually-
That's when you and then you
If
need
they
to
don't
start
beat us,
worrying.
I think they've capitulated.
As
personally.
They need
much
to
as
start
we were saying
worrying.
reverse psychology, I actually do agree. I think we have to go and beat them.
We do have
I'm
to
not
go.
trying to be
This is-
rude.
No,
I'm
no,
just
no, no,
telling
no. I
you.
know you're not, right?
We do have to go and beat them, but I do think still we have to be careful.
Of course.
Chelsea,
It's- yeah.
right? You know what I mean?
It's a big game for
the
them,
players
of
that
us.
they've got. Even though it's
Pride
bad.
You
as
guys
you've
ain't been. You haven't been at Stamford Bridge this
They
season.
haven't seen us,
You've
have
not
they?
understood. You're not understanding.
The one game I saw where you did play well was the Dortmund game in the Champions League. So maybe it could be a thing that you step up for the bigger games.
Nah, it's just because Champions League music was playing.
Even Real Madrid, we played well. We had chances in front of goal.
Yeah.
First half you did,
It finished
actually.
2-0.
Yeah.
And we had we probably had the majority of the possession for the most of that game, and we still conceded 2 and failed to score 0. So, bottle jobs, you
hold
can't beat
that.
us. There's an issue, mentality wise.
We're bottle jobs already, apparently. So it doesn't. I don't have to lose that game. We already are, apparently, right? So I think we will win this one convincingly. We have to bounce back for me, man.
I think it'll be 2-0 Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0.
Sadly, next season 3-0 Chelsea.
Oh wow, confidence.
Fine. So let's round off. Mudryk, did he make a mistake? Yes or no?
Yes.
I think so.
What do you can believe? No, I'm joking. No, he's. I think long term he'll be fine.
Can I be a hung jury?
Go on.
Yeah, sure.
I'm a hung jury at the minute.
Okay, fine.
Long term, no. Short term, yes.
Okay.
And I have to be honest.
I agree with you. Yeah, I would agree.
I
with
think
that.
that's fair.
That's fair.
All right, cool. Let us know in the comment section. Did Mikael Mudryk make a mistake? We know that Chelsea came at the last minute, managed to get the deal done. Arsenal very close to the asking price. Never happened. He's now at Chelsea, and he could line up against Arsenal at the Emirates, who are title race looks over, but they'll fight for every point. So it's a must-win for the Gunners as well. And Lampard desperately needs a point on the board as well. So we will be covering it all on AFTV. And of course, a big thank you to our Chelsea fans who came to join us, Sophie and Matisse. Again, let them know where they can find you, of course.
Sophie Rose Insta.
And Matisse, MAH on YouTube. That's where it's all at.
I have a YouTube as well, Sophie Rose World, so you can sign up to that.
There we go. And go subscribe to Football's 12th Man podcast. Yes, I got it right. Yes, well done. Big up to you, Dan and Robbie as well. Big round of applause for you too.
Where should they find you, Robbie? Where to subscribe to you?
Find me at the Emirates.
Right here.
With a mic outside the Emirates. You know where to find Robbie. All right, we'll leave it there. Big thanks to everyone. Go hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you very soon. Come on, Arsenal.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.